Hello everybody, welcome back to the Java Coast. I'm Mr. McSquare, and today I'm bringing to you my Knowledge Vault. Now what's a Knowledge Vault? Well, that's the place where all my enchanters are going to hang out so I can go and tap into their knowledge and get all my gear all powered up. And the first thing you gotta do is you gotta have villagers. So we got the old villager breeder here, all kinds of demos and templates you can find on the internet if you just look up villager breeder. And we just put one together. So we got all kinds of villagers ready to find jobs. Not a boat dispenser, it's a cart dispenser. Anyway, I hit that button, cart comes out, villager comes out. All kinds of tutorials on the net, and I got all kinds of villagers on standby, and I'm going to affect them all as zombies and then cure them so I get all their enchantments at discount rates. And now I've got those villagers on standby, ready to be cured and ready to give me deals. But before doing that, we gotta put a place to house all this stuff. And honestly, I die a lot, so I'm gonna need this place to keep my gear up to speed. Every time I die, by having these resources, I can take chances. I can dig deeper, more greedily, explore things further. Because if I make a mistake, I've got the resources to put myself back together. So this construction site here, you can see we got the pillars all marked out and the perimeter marked out. I'll put doorways over top of where these magma blocks are. Oh, not there, over one. And I'll just take you through this process a couple layers at a time because it's quite a lengthy build. And just gathering the supplies for this took a lot of time. So you're really getting the fast forward version. For doors, we're going to use magma blocks, and the sticky pistons, we're just going to use a simple 2x3 sticky piston door system to open that up. Okay, and we'll throw in some redstone wiring to make that work. Super simple framing. And my block of choice for this is polished diorite. Let's be honest, diorite looks like bird poop, but polished diorite looks like marble. And that's the look that I'm going for here. A marbly big old building. Wire it up, so that a push of a button and we'll open up the whole contraption. And I want to be able to open and close it from both ends, so I will wind up putting a copper bulb in just as a T-flip switch. Pretty simple wiring, but simple's good. Simple is easy to fix. Simple means less things can go wrong. And simple means I can do it without having to use a tutorial. course, always test your builds, no matter how simple or how complicated. Just make sure it works. It only takes a moment. There. Good to go. And then we can move on to the next areas. So next will be the residences for the enchanters. So essentially all you need is a whole bunch of beds and workstations, but we want to dress that up a bit. We're going to give them rooms so that they can actually wander around in a controlled environment. I don't want them to wander the whole village, so I have to find them. But they'll each have their own little like dormitory room where they're all hanging out. The illusion of freedom. Just to match the vault structure, the rooms on the inside had to follow the framing of the outside. So we've got a corner room and then a larger main chamber. And then we'll tie that into a center area where I can access everything. Temporary blocks gone. Always remember, as you go, that lighting up your builds never hurts. You don't want monsters to visit you partway through your construction process. So, lots of beds there. Leaving some spaces for windows. Just building it up a little bit at a time. And then, of course, we'll replicate this in all four corners. It's essentially a giant square. Go figure, Mr. McSquare making a giant square. What are the odds? Whole lot of diorite used for this building. But I like it. I think it's a pretty block. I don't know why diorite gets such a bad rap. Just polish it, it's beautiful. Close it all up. And when you're building, you have to have an overall concept of how high you want to make each floor before going to the next floor, or how grand your ceilings are, etc.
Okay. Yes.
So that basically completes the first floor template that I want. We'll have to bounce now to the outside and get some villagers in here. I didn't want just plain, so build our railroad up, get those villagers to work. I don't want to chase them all across the field, so we're going to use the rails and the mine carts to control the movement of everybody until we're ready to set them free in their designated areas. And then once we got them in their designated zone, we're going to give them some jobs. And you can see it's a discounted rate. Because they've been cured from their zombie status, and they know that. They know that. They remember. And they're grateful. And then we just keep removing and replacing them until we get an enchantment that we want. Curse of Vanishing? No. We don't really need Curse of Vanishing, so we'll replace it with something else. And we'll just keep doing that until we get trades that are favorable. Okay, moving on to the exterior. I don't want it just to be blank white walls. I'm gonna use cobbled deep slate tiles because they're nice and dark and super contrast with the white of the polished diorite. And we're going to firm up the structure with supports on the outside, and it's really going to give it a sturdy vaulted look. And we're also going to make sure that we're using half slabs as much as possible, because monsters don't spawn on half slabs, and that will just overall make everything safer. And then you'll see in the middle here, I like a black line. I'm not going to put a solid block in. I'm using half block top and bottom because nothing will spawn on top and no spider will spawn on the bottom. Half block tricks. Minecraft hacks with Mr. McSquare. And of course we're going to carry that on throughout the entire perimeter of the exterior. Add in the center support columns. Just using blocks there because it's a solid line. Spawning's not an issue. And then the transition between them will just wind up using stairs, because monsters don't like spawning on partial blocks. So we're going to use that to our construction advantage. And you can see stairs up, stairs down, no monster spawning top, no monster spawning bottom. And it blends quite nicely with the half slab lines that we put in. See, it gives us a nice pattern, and then we'll move on up to the roof and carry our lines right up. Basically frame the exterior so we know where to put our roofing. Solid blocks there. That'll be the stairs to the half slab transition. And just having a concept in your head will guide the placement of your blocks if you know what you're trying to achieve. Just not a detailed plan, but an idea of what you're going for. Equally spaced so it looks all pre-organized, architecturally sound. Yeah, firmed up. And that's just the outside done up. And then we will carry on that concept right to the roof. And the roof, even though these are solid blocks, we'll eventually put half slabs on top of them just to spawn proof the whole thing. And by spawn proofing it with slabs, we don't even have to light it up. I will add some lights just because lights really give it a livelier feel, but it's optional. Monsters do not spawn on partial blocks. So the half slabs and the stairs, no monster spawn. And then the only eligible spots are the solid blocks in the middle. And I'll run a half slab line there. And at each junction we'll just put a light. Go. Okay, so as I carry on here, now an important change is going to be, I am going to, well, at my heart, I'm a Bedrock player, and this is a Java realm. I've played with my friends and I've tried it, but really, it's not the right flavor for me. I'm going to go back to a Bedrock world, and I'm going to start that up in a few weeks. So if any of you are out there and are interested in joining me on a Bedrock adventure, message me in the comments, and who knows, maybe we can work together on a project in the future. Another update has just come out, so it's a perfect time to start a new world. And there's lots of talent out there, and you don't have to be like a B00 master builder. No, you can be of any skill level, as long as your heart's in the right place and you want to share that experience with other people. So again, if you're interested, just shoot me a comment down in the comments section, and we'll meet up, we'll introduce ourselves to each other, and we'll see if it's a good fit. And if it is, maybe we can start a world together. There's room for 10 players, and I've already got a couple spots earmarked for people like Lightning FNC. He's another YouTuber out there with a fair number of subscribers. He'll be joining me on this adventure, possibly a couple of his friends as well. But we've still got room for at least 7 more people. So if you're interested, shoot me a comment. We'll go from there. There we have it. The construction is done. The Knowledge Vault is accessible. And unfortunately for the villagers, I still have to infect them and save them. But otherwise, it's pretty much ready to go. That railroad will remove. And I don't have to rely on my neighbors for the many, many times that I die and need my equipment reset. So again, thank you for joining me on this adventure. I love sharing all my work and idea with you all. Your comments are appreciated. So are your likes and subscribes. So, oh yeah, all the good enchants. All the good enchants. Give you a quick overview from the inside. Got the 4 different chambers there. Actually, it's 8 chambers if you count upstairs and downstairs. So lots and lots of enchanters. In a cozy little village, which just is still growing and growing. So many ideas, so much potential. Anyway, I really love the limitless creativity that you can express on these things. So, until next time, I'm Mr. McSquared. Bye bye.